Welcome to Beautifully Unfiltered, the Purple Runway podcast. The Purple Runway podcast is about breaking the silence, honoring truths, and creating honest conversations that lead healing and advocacy and empowerment. For too long, the stories of domestic violence, especially those rooted in trauma, silence, and survival, have been hidden behind closed doors, and we're here to change that. So welcome to Beautifully Unfiltered, the Purple Runway podcast, and let's walk with purpose together.
Hello, community. I am super happy to be back here with you guys at Beautifully Unfiltered with Gigi. And again, that we have another amazing guest. Let me give you a little bit of information about our upcoming guest. Sarah Reagan, she is a hairstylist. She's been a master hairstylist for about 20 years or so. And one thing that I remember and I love so much about Sarah is that every single time I've met her and I've been in the same place with her, Sarah lights up the room. And then during one of those discussions, we also did an event together. We met at a networking event, which was Social Collective, but we also did an event together with our friend Amanda.
Yes.
And Sarah was doing the hair for the shots there, and we got to talking. And I learned that she was not only a light within every room, she is a sister, and she is an amazing woman who is doing great things here within the community. So I want to introduce you all to Sarah, who is a native of Northern Virginia and who owns Blush and Blonde Color Studio. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
How you been?
I'm doing great, thank you.
I'm so happy that you were able to take time out today because I know you have a busy schedule. You have clients after clients after clients
Yeah.
coming in, right?
Yeah.
So, and today, during this month of October, we are celebrating here at Purple Runway, as we always do. We're
Good.
celebrating wonderful people who are a shining light to other sisters and brothers who have overcome journeys, overcome anything that they thought at one point in time that they would not be able to. So today I just want you, because I know the light you are, so many people, other people know that the light you are, and I just wanted to go through a couple of questions with you about your journey. So
Sure.
can you introduce yourself in your own words, and then we're going to talk about some things that brought you to not just surviving but thriving in such a way that you are.
Sure. So, hello, everybody. I'm Sarah with Blush and Blonde Color Studio. That's my business name. I'm a native Northern Virginian, and I would love to invite you to listen in on this podcast with us today. It's going to be special.
Yes, it is. It is. So, Sarah, I understand when we go through, here with Purple Runway and Beautifully Unfiltered, we had a conversation the other day, and and it was a little hesitation because you weren't necessarily clear on how we were going to do this, and
Mhm.
and I explained to you, we're going to speak about the thriver in each and every one of us, and the reason why this podcast chooses to do that is because we understand the disparity, and sometimes we understand disparities in too much detail, which is not necessary because it really traumatizes other people. But and then once I told you, I was like, no, 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 no. As I said, you're a light,
Yeah.
right? So therefore, we know that trauma exists. But with you, I wanted you to talk about the journey and before your turning point and becoming the Sarah that you are now. What was the most challenging moment for you in your journey?
I think the most challenging moment was honestly really trying to get my significant other at the time away from me,
Mm-hmm.
um, out of the house, just move out, get him out.
Yeah,
And that was tough because he was so resistant.
understandably.
So it was really mentally I was there separating myself, but
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't physically get him, away.
Right. So what brought you to that moment where you chose you and you decided to say, you know what, I need to do what I have to do to move forward?
I think it's just enough was enough,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to get that, trying to focus on getting him help when reality, I really needed to focus on myself,
Yeah.
you know?
And how did you start doing that? When you were able to move forward and finally get that person out of your house, what was your initial thoughts, and how did you start rebuilding yourself?
So my initial thought was, am I going to be safe? Meaning, even if he left, he had a
Mhm.
bit of stalking in him. He would stalk
Mhm.
me. So my initial thought was, I have to have a plan if that
Absolutely.
happens.
Mhm.
And how I got help was, I really decided that it was time to get back to seeing like a therapist more regularly.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think that really helped with at least the initial trauma
Mhm.
of how everything unfolded. But really, my main goal was to get him away from me physically.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that was challenging, but it also taught me to just be resilient and stay strong in my word, which is no.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and when you were going through that, did you have a lot of support that would help you navigate from one phase to the next phase?
So I surrounded myself with a lot of good friends, but I think we were all just kind of bewildered as to dealing with somebody on this level of how manipulative the person was. But I really didn't have a super super strong support system
Mhm.
until I really started reaching out to for therapy appointments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
had my friends and they were great. My friends were great.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. When you were um your younger self, could you speak about your younger self? Did you witness, you know, harm through family members or anything? Or was this something that really shocked you and caught you by surprise and you didn't know how to handle it?
So a little bit of both, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think I did witness some things. I was an infant, but I did witness some things when I was literally a baby. And I think that kind of thing never, I think humans, it absorb that
Right.
energy, no
Right.
matter how big or small, if you're young or you're old.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had been around stuff like that, not very often, but as an infant I did. And I also was really caught off guard myself about being in that kind of situation because I'm such a strong girl.
Yeah.
Anybody that you talk to that's my friend is going to say Sarah's a strong one.
Absolutely.
So, how this all happened, I just got caught up,
Mm-hmm.
and people are really good at being showing you what they want you to see
Mm-hmm.
for long enough to get you, I guess, hooked in.
Right. So, if thinking about it during even today, I know with me going through various different levels of what you're saying, that people show you who they want you to be. I know I don't feel like you hold people at bay, but do you feel like that it takes you a little bit more time to embrace people because of the hesitancy of relationship building because of that?
You, I think with other women, no,
Mm-hmm.
but with men, unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So it's not something I intend, but I am really self-aware and hyper,
Mm-hmm.
you know, sensitive to that.
And that's fair. And you're still working through therapy and you're still getting
Yeah.
through those things. Yeah. So, and also, I remember when we were talking briefly, you said that you had to call the police to get him out. Did you have to go to court? And did you have to go through that whole legal process, or was that enough for him to understand that you were serious?
Yeah. So the police actually ended up not coming
Oh,
because he was living with me, and they actually didn't come. So I called the police because I wanted him out of my house. But because
hmm,
he was a living resident there, I couldn't kick him out.
right.
So they just told me to give him notice that he must leave.
Hmm.
And he eventually left on his own.
Awesome. And you know what? That's very good information that you just shared, because a lot of people don't understand, especially if you know, it's your home and someone has been there for X amount of time, and it probably depends state to state, that you
Yes.
have to go through a full type of eviction process. And
Yes.
that's a dangerous process, but it sounds like what you
Yes.
went through, I mean, you were able to be firm and to be intentional, and he was able to walk away from that. Um, without you having to go through that process. And so, how many years has it been since that's happened with you?
Oh, probably about 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. And and now the I want to be able to switch this conversation, okay?
Sure.
So when you're growing beyond, and I know you said that you went to therapy and all of that, and here at Purple Runway, we talk about the importance of self-rescue, and we talk about spending time on yourself and learning how to holistically heal, to be able to help with the emotional wellness part of it and your growth. So one of my questions is, what is the practice of like mindset tools that you use or that you encompass that really get you through the day? Because again, I'm going to say it again, you are light when people see you in the room, and you
Oh,
always bring that with you.
thanks.
So how did you move from here to there for anytime Sarah walks in the room, someone is saying, there she goes?
Oh, thank you. So I think it's just really keeping on target with what your goal, with what my goals are,
Hmm.
right? So I have a set mind frame of, I meditate about what I want. I always have a new goal going for myself, and I really mean business when I'm talking about and creating, manifesting my goals.
Right.
So I try to focus on, just the goals that I have set up for myself,
Hmm.
and just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's has gotten you to where you are today, with an amazing salon that you're doing great things. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about Beyond. If you could speak to your younger self today and the struggles, what would you tell her?
I would tell her, don't put up with anybody's crap. I would
That's deep.
also I would also tell her that um, you know, be impeccable with your word. You know,
Absolutely.
just make sure that you investigate people a little
Hmm.
bit, a
Yeah.
little bit. When I
Hmm.
mean investigate, I mean do a little homework.
That's good and that's fair, because and nowadays with the, you know, as much access as we have to the internet, it
Right.
is better to figure out who you're trying to date, who you're trying to get in a relationship with, and what that looks like. And I don't think it's not a bad thing, especially in this day and age. So I think that's some great advice that you just shared. Um, so let's talk about one last thing. What song, okay, so every single um, end of every single podcast that we have, I talk to each one of my guests, because when people watch this, I don't want them to just hear exactly what you say. I want them to take away a feeling. And I wanted you to tell us what song, like when you're going through, like just having a rough day or what have you, what song brings you back to center and brings you back to focus with all the work that you've done and all the things that you have gained since you have been free?
I think it has to be Christina Aguilera's Fighter. I think that's
Really? Why is that? Why is that one so special to you?
because when I'm really going through something, I turn that on and I just feel like, you know, this is just going to make me stronger somehow.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. We
know,
all have
like
that one song.
whatever we're going through, like I'm going to come out of it on the other side
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be stronger for it. So it's kind of just, building yourself up.
Yeah.
You really have to be good at building yourself up
Absolutely. You have to
because
know
you
when to bring
cannot
yourself out
rely,
that pit.
yes, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot rely necessarily. You have your support system, but you really need to have it in your mind first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if your story were a book or a movie, what would you call it?
Hmm. Crazy Beautiful. I think that's already a movie, but
And
I'm
I
gonna
can see
copy off
that.
of somebody else and call it Crazy Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then one of the last uh, questions I have, three words. List three words that best captures your journey from here to there. Three words that speak to who Sarah is.
I would say poignant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say different, unique,
Okay. All right.
and I would say strong.
Yeah. Yeah. The beautiful thing about this, Sarah, is that I absolutely love talking to my sisters who have just taken their power back, right? And you exude that.
Thank you.
Being in business for 20 years, making people happy in this area, giving great services. And as you and I talk, and I say, you're an unlicensed therapist to so many, right?
That's
So,
actually really true. I just had one of my clients today literally say that I love coming here and you do my hair because I talk to you like I would my therapist. And I'm like, great.
yeah, yeah. But you know what? You have to make them feel comfortable in doing that. People can do your hair or your nails. That does not
Right.
mean that you can sit down there and share week to week or every couple of weeks that you come in. But it's the spirit that's inside of you that makes people feel comfortable enough with you to even give you that label. But it speaks to the who you are and the work that you've accomplished. So I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing your story to uplift others who may think that, you know what, I looking at Sarah and I want to be a hairstylist and I want to be able to walk that trajectory that she is. And you just gave them the inspiration to do it.
Thank you. You really have to really like helping people.
Absolutely. And I think people that have been in our position, we love to help people. I think
Yes.
it's because of what we went through, and we don't want other people to go through certain things. And I think that's what makes us the salt of the earth at times, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And just to be a listening ear.
Yep.
That's also sometimes I think, with my clients that maybe nobody listens to them.
Yeah. With the day to day and everything that's
Yes.
going on with people's everyday life, it's good when you can sit down and relax and they're doing something. The good thing is that they're doing something for themselves, right? By
Right.
coming to see you. And but no one, you know, has time to sit back and really enjoy having conversations because it's hard to turn the day off when you get up, go to work, feed the dog, go to sleep, make dinner, go to bed, get up, feed the dog, go to sleep, make dinner, go to bed, you know, until we
That's
make that
true.
time for ourselves. And I think that as much as we can encourage people, it's important that we encourage them to take out 15, 20 minutes a day on a regular basis to start that journey. So by the time that they come in to see you, it's guess what I've done
Right.
for me because of, this time that I get to spend with you. So, but thank you so much, Sarah, for being
You're
here.
welcome.
I really, really appreciate this. And I look forward to seeing you soon and giving you a hug.
Good.
And we will send this information out. And I'm sure you're going to touch plenty of hearts with your support today.
Thank you. That means a lot. And I really do hope to see you soon as well and give you a giant hug, the biggest hug ever.
Biggest hug
Yeah.
ever. All right. Have a
All right.
great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So I just want to again thank Sarah for coming to Beautifully Unfiltered with Gigi. These are the stories that lift so many of us up. When we can see someone moving from survivor to thriver, taking their lives back, holding space for others, and growing beyond measure, this is what Purple Runway is about. And this is what this podcast is about. We hope that you will join us. If you have a great story, I would love for you to contact us at info.purplerunway@gmail.com in order to share your story, because the more stories we can get out there to be able to share the champions, the ones who are succeeding, the better that we can change the trajectory of DV and IPV around the country, in our communities, and abroad. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.
This podcast is an extension of Purple Runway, where we honor survivors, celebrate their courage, and amplify the voices that are often go unheard. Whether you're a survivor, a supporter, an advocate, or someone still finding their way, you're not alone. And this space is for you.
Thank you for listening. The Beautifully Unfiltered podcast is brought to you by...
One of the things that keeps great leaders up at night is how to take a solid team and make them better. Well, we can help you figure all that out. Learn as a team, grow as a team, and have fun doing it. At Blue Stallion Solutions, we meet you where you're at and we take you where you want to go. Blue Stallion Solutions isn't just a company, it's a movement. Ride with us today.